welcome to Making the Grade, how education franchisees are using online scheduling to dramatically improve staffing ratios. I am a marketing specialist here at AppointmentPlus. We are thrilled that all of you have decided to give us a little bit of your very valuable time to learn how online scheduling can benefit your educational franchise. In the educational franchise world, your job is to help kids better understand math. For this webinar, our mission is to help you avoid too few or too much staff at your center, to reduce the amount of calls and emails you have to deal with every day, to eliminate scheduling hassles for parents, and to reduce the amount of appointment no-shows you currently have for those of you that are taking appointments, and we will talk about those that are not coming up. So who are we? We are AppointmentPlus. We are the online scheduling software experts. Did you know that AppointmentPlus is used by over 55 educational franchisees all around the world? These are people that have been using us for years to be able to allow their students to be able to book appointments so when they come into the center that they know that their seat is waiting for them, that there will be enough tutors there for them, they can get in and out in a timely fashion. AppointmentPlus, empowering the world's top brands. We proudly serve 50 Fortune 500 companies. We are serious about scheduling. What does this mean in regards to serious scheduling? There are 6,000 companies worldwide that love AppointmentPlus. We have 85 million API calls this year, and we have scheduled well over 186 million appointments since we've started and counting. So exactly what do? We do online appointment scheduling software. Now, some of you might be saying that there are a lot of educational franchisees that do not accept appointments. Well, there's challenges with that. I understand, the reasons why some of you do it, but here's probably the biggest challenge that you're going to deal with. Too many or too few staff at any given time. It also creates center chaos. When you don't know how many people are coming or going at any particular time, how can you control the flow of your center? Last thing that creates with drop-off challenges is it decreases operational efficiencies. So these are some of the drop-off challenges that those of you that don't take appointments are currently dealing with. So let's talk a little bit about online scheduling. Number one, it's cloud-based. For those of you that are wondering what that means, it means it can be accessed from anywhere. It is available 24/7. We also have in our system, we send out email and text reminders. Last thing is, from a center standpoint, from a management standpoint, it generates very powerful reports. Bottom line out of all of this, the real key is that you're going to end up getting better tutor-to-student ratios. You have better communication with the students, the parents, your tutors. You have fewer no-shows. It's also going to be more convenient for the parents. But bottom line is what you're going to have is you're going to have happier students. You're going to have happier kids. So here we go. How does our system work? We put this button in places for people to be able to click on so they can book their appointments online. Where do we put this button? We put it on your website. We put it on your Facebook page. We put it in any of your emails. Okay, the advantage of putting them on these three areas is all somebody has to do is go to your website, click the Book Now button, answer a few questions, fill in a couple of things, and you're done. The best part about this is available 24/7 and can be done on any computing device. But again, bottom line, it makes for happier students. So let's for a second take a look at what would happen if you didn't use online scheduling. Well, here's what happens. You're going to have too many or too few staff issues. You're going to have to deal with more calls and more emails to handle. You're going to have more appointment no-shows. You're going to have less center control. And the worst part is you're going to have less communication. And the other thing you're going to have is you're going to have less happy students. Now, I don't know if they're going to look like this. She looks really angry. Your job is to get them to look like this. Folks, I want to introduce somebody who can talk a little bit about what has worked for her, Lynnette Groves. She is the owner of 3 mathnasiums in Scottsdale, Arizona. Lynnette, I am grateful that you had the opportunity to join us today.
Yeah, me too.
Good. Well, I'm going to make this real simple because, as I said, folks, I'm telling you about all this stuff, but I want you to hear it from one of your own. I want you to hear it from somebody who is in the trenches with you that has been dealing with this. Just so people know your background, how long have you been an education franchise owner, and how did you get into this?
Before I bought my first mathnasium, I was a middle school and algebra teacher here in the Phoenix area. We bought our first franchise in May of 2010, and it was an existing struggling franchise. The attendance wasn't very high, but we did switch over to AppointmentPlus in the spring of 2011, I believe. And then in June of 2012, we bought our Scottsdale location. And then this past October, we bought our Arcadia location. Got
it. So here's my question. One of the challenges is when you made that decision to go from drop-in to appointment only. How did you overcome any resistance when you made that switch?
The first center, when we switched over, the attendance was low, but it wasn't a hard switch over to AppointmentPlus. The hardest one to switch over, in my mind, was in 2012 when we bought the Scottsdale location. That center hadn't done any type of scheduling at that point, and we introduced it right away. The reason why we had introduced it is when we were speaking to the owner, while we were doing that transition, he had said that there had been times where his center was so full there was no seat, and that people would either call to see if there was room, or they would drive up and look in the parking lot to see if there were room. So we had decided it was a good idea to do that. However, there were people that were used to certain things and had been used to certain things for a while. Like, one of the big things is I want to be able to drop my child off whenever I want. And you can still do that with scheduling. I do allow same-day appointments. You can still come in every day. However, if you want our busiest times, I ask that you're going to have to book it earlier because it's going to be a first-come, first-serve.
And again, you mentioned about being the busiest times because obviously you're going to run into real challenges of ratios.
Yeah, I do want to maintain that 4-to-1 ratio. I don't want it to be an average. I want it to always be 4-to-1, and we never go over that ratio. I also think that there's a lot of frustration on the parents when they come to drop their student off and think that they have that ability to always drop them off and then your center be completely full, or you're pushing in a chair and that kid's there for 3 or 4 hours, which is not an ideal situation at all.
Well, what have you been able to do to work with the parents for them to be able to utilize an online appointment scheduling software so it can help their child get better attention?
For the parents, it helps them because they're able to schedule their appointment at any time. They can go online and do it rather than trying to call us or send us emails. That actually helps us be able to talk to the parents over, meaningful things rather than just appointment changes and schedules. It also, we're able to guarantee that low student-to-teacher ratio with them. Plus, they don't have to leave their child there for the 4 hours for them to complete their homework or whatever it is. We're able to keep that hour to an hour and a half, which gives you actually more time in the long run.
I'm assuming the parents have no problems learning how to use the software and filling in all the stuff. It's relatively user-friendly, correct?
It is user-friendly. You still will run into those parents who are resistant, and, we will try to accommodate them, but I do want them to be responsible for scheduling their child.
Got it. Have you seen signs of improvement from your students since you started doing an appointment-only policy?
I think that with my staff not being burdened and overstaffed, they're able to actually take the time and spend with each individual student what they need rather than trying to run around and try to hurry up and talk to this person and hurry up and talk to this person. It is better quality instruction because of it.
Last question before I let you go, because I know how busy you must be. How has changing to doing online appointments impacted the bottom line of your center?
I'm able to read that day whether or not it's going to be a busy day or not, so I'll know if I need to add more staff for particular times or if I can let people go at an earlier time. So it actually helps my payroll. And there's other things that I like about it besides just the payroll. I mean, I can also plan out and see that, certain days were really slow and I can staff for that. Or our center is open on Sundays. 2 of my centers are open on Sundays and 1 is Saturday. And Sundays, believe it or not, are way busier than Saturdays, and I'm able to adjust staffing for those needs.
Lynette, I want to thank you very much for sharing your expertise, because what we're trying to do is show you whether our software will fit or not in your business. We want to be able to show you all the benefits that our software can bring to your educational franchise business. Go to AppointmentPlus.com/learn-more/free demo. If you don't want to do it, if you've got questions, feel free to reach out to me personally. This is my direct line, and my email address is dsherman@AppointmentPlus.com. Folks, I want to thank you so very much for spending this time with us. Take care. Bye-bye.